Hi there, welcome to the very first Q&A with myself, Mark, love it, music, or MLM for short. This is the very first time I've ever done a Q&A, so throwing it out there on Instagram, I was really unsure whether people would actually ask me any questions or if I just get like one. That'd make a really awkward Q&A, so I was really surprised just how many people got involved, asked me a question, and even more surprised that people asked me like 3. So let's just jump straight into it. Question number 1 comes from Dallas James. Yes, Dallas James, not James Dallas. What got you into music? Was there one pivotal moment or did you just always know? It was around secondary school, so I was maybe like 13, 14 years old, and I remember hearing Offspring's Pretty Fly for a White Guy on the radio. I also remember hearing What's My Age Again by Blink-182. And those songs really stuck out to me. I remember recording them off the radio. From there, I just really got into it. I got the Offspring's Conspiracy of One. And I don't know, the more I listened to it, the more I enjoyed it. And then, between me and a few friends at school, we all said, we should make a band. And, we all decided which instruments we would play. And the funny thing was, we actually did. The 2 guys who said they'd play guitar, they both went and bought a guitar. I said I'd play bass. I went and got a bass. And the drummer obviously went and got a drum kit. So yeah, it started from there. The next one comes from Abigail Rose, or Abby as I better know her. And she asked 3 questions. Damn, did she get busy. All right, so we'll start with the first one. And she asks, what's your guilty pleasure music? Now, playing lowball. So I can only think of 2 songs that spring straight to my head. The first one being Sugar Babes, About You Now. I don't know, I just think it's a jam. And the second one is Kelly Clarkson, My Life Would Suck Without You. Those are the 2 that spring to my head. Can't really think of any others right now. Owl City. I love Owl City, but I don't know. I'm not even going to call that guilty pleasure. I fucking love Owl City. Next question from Abby. She also asks, which bands do you think are overrated? For me, personally, it has to be White Stripes, right at the top. And another one is Deftones. Again, I just don't get it. Third and final question she asked is, how did you go from playing an instrument to producing music? Well, it started with that very first band that I was just talking about, and we were called Volume 6, and we were bitching. Our first show was played at school to other students. The thing is, once you start playing an instrument, you learn the songs you enjoy, obviously, to get the most enjoyment out of it. From there, I don't know, I started writing my own stuff, and once you start writing your own stuff, you think, yeah, this is all right. I'm, quite enjoying this. And you just want a way to record it that's not on your phone, because that just sounds bad. And from there, it just kind of, they were like the first stepping stones. And from there, I just continued learning more and more about music production. The next one comes from Music of Troy, and he doesn't ask a question. He just says, hey, please take good care of yourself at this virus time. Well, thank you so much. Same to you too. Now, next one comes from Hi Max Music, and he goes ahead and asks, no questions at the moment, just wishing a good time. And the same to you. But then he goes on to ask, maybe one, how is the situation in China these days? It's a lot better. It is a lot better. The peak of the virus was maybe 2 months ago when I made the video on Instagram. And since then, a lot has cleared up. Roads have opened back up. A lot of people are going back to work. But the people who can work from home are still working from home, and that's the category I fall into. But we still need to take a lot of precautions. We still need to wear masks whenever we go out, wash our hands a lot, that kind of stuff. But it is a lot better. Sixth Floor Memories asked, latest trick or skill you learned on any instrument? That's a good question. I don't know. It's been a long time since I learned anything new on guitar, especially. Even on bass, drums, it's been a long time. I've just kind of hit a plateau. I've been at the same level for literally years. The latest trick or skill I learned was probably music production trick. The automation of the stereo... I can't even speak. The automation of the stereo expander. So like when it's something, it's go and get a huge explosion. That's probably the latest thing. Pop Punk Emo Quotes asked, what musicians do you consider your inspiration? For me, I think, I'll say a few, I'll say three. And right at the top, I think it has to be Andrew WK for just how positive he is, upbeat, and his tunes are absolutely stunning, especially the first two albums. And his latest one too, which is really good. I think Scott Sellers, he was originally the guitarist and vocalist in Rufio. He just recently did like 4 albums all himself. You know, he recorded like all the instruments one by one, mixed, mastered, everything, released all by himself, and he did 4 albums in 1 year, which is... So those are the top 2, and third one, I don't know. I think I'm going to throw in Mark Hoppus, the bassist and one of the vocalists from Blink-182, just for the fact that he got me into playing the bass. The real MK, or the real MK, I asked him and he still didn't say which one it was. So he asked, what made you start making music? Well, I've already touched on it a little bit. You know, when I had the band and we had some music, I just really wanted to record it. And once looking back on those recordings, like, damn, these sound so bad. So I needed to learn how to get better at recording. So that's how it started. He also asked, what is your goal musically? This is a big one. This is a big one for me. I'm just going to go out and say the dream, which is to play on the main stage or a major festival, maybe Leeds or Reading, Slam Dunk, Download, something like that. A huge festival, play on the main stage with a full band, playing my music. That is the dream. That is the dream. Kay's beat at... I'm just kidding, man. Kaze beat as, does a straw have 1 or 2 holes? And when I first saw this, I was like, eh? But I came to the decision it only has 1 hole, because that's all a straw is. It's just an elongated hole. Devour Galaxies, shout out to you, man. He asks, hey Mark, do you use any analog gear such as preamps when you do your captures? I can't say I do, no. Give me a song, or give me several songs. I honestly could not tell you which ones are using analog gear and which ones are not. I know a lot of people go into, oh, but it sounds warm, or it gives you a warm sound, whatever, but I can't hear the difference, so I don't use it. Alex Johansson asks, what are your thoughts on mastering? Is it overrated or is it necessary? It's absolutely necessary, yes. It's not as important as the mix, I don't think. If you've got a bad mix, you're going to get a bad master. Sophie 睡觉了。睡觉了。哦，她在楼下睡觉。我的妈哟，我说个乱嘞。I don't consider myself a good master at all. I should probably send them off for somebody else to do the mastering, but... And that is all the questions I got. So, thank you to everyone who sent in a question. I hope you enjoyed the first ever Q&A with me. Nope. So, that about wraps it up. I hope you enjoyed the very first Q&A. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. It really, really helps me out in the YouTube algorithm and all that good stuff. So, until next time, take care.